All right, we are here for round 1. And we're going to go ahead and tell our opponent hello and good luck. And get ready to head out here. Looking at this hand here, it's not like the most exciting aggressive hand. But it's not bad. I mean, Lord knows we have every color we could possibly want on the planet. So I'm not going to go ahead and mulligan it. And we'll see what Xanthia88 has for us here. Looks like he's throwing down the red as well. Rakdos Cackler. That's interesting. Well, sure. Let's go ahead and do that. Rakdos Cackler away. Heck yes, we're going to unleash that. Right now he's probably thinking, oh no, it's a Rakdos deck. Little does he... Oh, apparently he's Rakdos as well. Little does he know that we are far from Rakdos. In we go. Get in there, Cackler. And I guess we'll go ahead and play the Grim Roustabout. It's actually a little bit more aggressive than I thought we would be. See if he has a play for us here. He's got enough mana, that's for sure. Annihilating Fire. Yep. Nothing I can do about that. I don't feel terrible about that Annihilating Fire. If it was going to kill something, I guess better the Grim Roustabout than something more important, I guess. I'm not really sure what I have that's, like, grotesquely important. Oh, go ahead and rush in here. Cackler doing that work. Let's see, do we show him the island? I don't think there's like a big problem with it, but I don't really have anything yet that's going to require 2 islands. So I guess we just go ahead and do this and then play out our Lobber Crew. And then in a little bit here we can start doing a little controlling with this Izzet Charm. Excuse me. Four drop, is it? Oof. Oh, good lord. Oh, Bloodfray Giant. That's bad. That is bad news. Bad news. It can't block, but I don't really feel like racing it either. Well, go ahead and swing because why not? And I think we will probably be Izzet Charming whatever he plays next. We're going to take 5. There's no way around that. Imagine he'll be gianting in here. Man, what a great peel. Bloodfray Giants. Ugh. Yep. Come on in, Bloodfray. Why not? Nope. No blocks. Go ahead and tap out for a Spawner Exmade or something. Tapping 4 for a Perilous Shadow, and we are going to go ahead and let's see here. Non-creature spell. Yeah, there's nothing we can really do about that. Well, alright. And we'll go ahead and ping him. That Perilous Shadow pretty much shuts us down. So we have another Izzet Charm. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's see here. We can get in with this Cackler, and then we can go ahead and Izzet Charm the Perilous Shadow? Is that what I want to do? We're going to be taking another 5 then. But I think that's kind of all we have at the moment. So let's go ahead and do it to it. He might not even block. No, he did. Alright, well. Let's see here. Yep. Deal 2 damage to target creature. Let's see here. Go ahead and ping. I think I did that out of order. And I'm still getting used to Magic the Gathering Online. Apparently I was supposed to ping first. Oh well. That's going to miss out on some extra damage from me. That's kind of sad. And Rakdos Shred coming in for 7. Man, I could have blocked that with the Lobber too. Well, sometimes you make mistakes. Let's see here. I think what we're going to have to do is just use 2 spells on the Bloodfray Giant. I can't really think of any other way to deal with it. Which sucks, but it's just too big. It's just way too big for our own good. Dead Reveler. Yeah. Rogue's Passage is interesting. Oh, man. Let's see here. Yeah, pretty much the only thing we're going to be able to do here is waste 2 spells on that Bloodfray Giant. There's no point in really attacking because it'll just get blocked by the Dead Reveler. And we'll see if we can stabilize after that. And we'll see if I utilize my Lobber correctly. Augur Spree, huh? Alright, well, let's see. We're going to do this first. And then we're going to go ahead and deal 2 damage to that. And then we'll go ahead and finish that off. And then we'll go ahead and deal another point of damage. So we managed to get rid of the Bloodfray Giant, but it did a lot of work. And it's going to put me in a really compromising position. To the point now where I'm essentially top decking to try and stay alive. Because the Rakdos Cackler cannot do its blocking. And I think that's going to be a good game here in a second. Well, in the meantime, we can give our little Cackler here some unblockability. And we can get in for 2, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to have to get something amazing off the top here. And if he has another Shred Freak, then I imagine he'll just come in for 6 and we'll be dead. Also, if he has Annihilating Fire, we'll be dead. Ouch. Yeah, he's got plays. He's only got 1 card in hand, but he's got plays. And it's pretty good, whatever it is. Street Sweeper. Wow. Nivix Guildmage. I don't think that is going to be enough. I can sure dig deep and see if I can find anything. Yeah, I found something, but it's a little bit too late. So we'll go ahead and concede here. Alright, so Bloodfray Giant and a whole bunch of other horror. What could we have done better there? I mean, we had to get rid of the Bloodfray Giant. It sucks to use 2 cards on it, but I couldn't really think of any other way to deal with it. Do we bring in the green-white? Because if we bring in the green-white, I'll have a couple more ways to deal with that. Let's see. Precinct captain. What would we need to deal with that? As much as I loathe to play it, Chorus of Might. Oh man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Let's see here. Wild Beastmaster, the Deviant Glees, and maybe a Karazda Monitor, or another Drudge Beetle. Do we need to be a little bit faster than that? Let's see, Security Blockade. We have 3 enchantments. We could try the Sphere of Safety deck, but I'm not really sure that's what I want to be doing. Maybe we just have to do this. And, well, do we have enough creatures, though? We have Selesnya Charm, we have a Security Blockade, which is essentially a creature. We're sitting at 9. So the Security Blockade is 10. And then, like I said, we have things like these Deviant Glees, which would do pretty cool on the Wild Beastmaster. Oh man, this is just weird all around. Let's go ahead and add some land here. It's probably pretty good. Most of our low drops, though, are green, but I think we might be alright with a Guildgate. Deviant Glees. Well, we can go ahead and give it a shot and see how it does. This isn't like the most intelligent build I've ever made in my life, but we can give it a go. Let's see here. We see a bunch of plains. We can't play anything in our hand unless we start ripping lands. And he is a fast deck. We rip any land and we can start playing Stellar Songbirds. We do have the Wild Beastmaster. Based upon that, I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this. We'll see where that puts us. If I can get a green off the top, I would feel really good. But his deck is pretty brutal. That's for darn sure. We don't have any of our removal in our hand, which is not exactly where I want to be. We did rip a forest, though, so that's pretty good. That is not bad. I think our first order of business is probably a Centaur Healer. And then we'll start worrying about Wild Beastmasters and things of that nature. Precinct Captain is pretty good. Now I'm actually kind of curious if I want to get the Precinct Captain or the Centaur Healer out. We start getting Precinct Captains out, we start making little chump blockers if we can get in. But I think the most efficient, well, let's see, it kind of depends on if he plays something or not. If he plays something, what would it be? It would probably be something like a Dead Reveler or something of that nature, but a lot of his stuff is unblockable. So maybe we do play the Precinct Captain. Maybe that kind of tells him to keep his stuff leashed. By now he's probably realized that we're playing just a completely different deck than we submitted the first time. Because if he plays unblockables, we're going to start getting in. So if he has a Splatter Thug and he keeps that leashed, that's probably the worst thing I could see. He might also just Annihilating Fire this. Pulling another Plains. I don't know of any flash black and red, so I guess we'll just kind of rush in there. Yeah, I think we're going to see an Annihilating Fire here. There's the Annihilating Fire. Not much we can do about that. I guess in the meantime, we go ahead and play out our Centaur Healer. Kind of hoping to see a swamp here in the near future. I think there's only 2 or 3 in the deck right now, so it's not a huge possibility, but there's only 20 cards that we're sorting through now. I mean, these are only 30-card decks, so the things that you want to see, you are more likely to see. And he's taking a good long time in his main phase here. I wonder why. There we go. Please don't let it be a Bloodfray Giant. A Lobber Crew. Interesting. So we've got another forest. We can chuck a Chorus of Might in, but I don't think that's what we're going to do. I am, however, going to go ahead and go in with this healer and see if he wants to believe that I have a Giant Growth. Nope, he'll go ahead and block it. He called the bluff. So let's see here. Should we go ahead and start putting the Wild Beastmaster down? Right now he doesn't really have anything to... Let's see, if I put the Stellar Songbirds down, Wild Beastmaster... Yeah, I think we go ahead and put the Wild Beastmaster down. We saw an Augur Spree, so it's very possible that the Wild Beastmaster might be next on the Augur Spree charts. He's got 6 cards in hand. Having the Beastmaster attack will make my Centaur here a 4/4, which is kind of neat. Splatter Thug is pretty good. And he's going to unleash that. Interesting. Okay. Sunspire Griffin, that's pretty neat. But I need to determine, let's see here. If we Chorus of Might, this is going to get +2/+2. So this is going to turn into a 6/6. That's pretty good, but for right now, I think we're just going to go ahead and swing in here. And that'll make that a 4/4. So blocking it with the Lobber Crew is really not the way to go. Okay, he just goes ahead and takes that damage. Yeah, I think getting the Stellar Songbirds is out. That puts more meat on the table to get buffed up by this Wild Beastmaster. Actually, let's go ahead and tap it like this. Looks like this deck is faring a little bit better than our last deck, but all he needs really is something like a Bloodfray Giant, and we've got some real problems. Although we're going to be swinging in with 4 creatures next go. If he can't get rid of this Wild Beastmaster, that could be a real problem for him, because these things are going to get... What are they going to get? +5/+5? How much damage is that? That's a lot of damage. If I can rip a swamp, it'll be pretty bad. I don't want him to save his mana here. I would really like him to play something. I don't want to have to worry about an Augur Spree. Dead Reveler. Okay. I imagine that will be... Oh, he's gonna try for the race. Interesting. All right. Well, let's see here. We don't have enough to play a creature and do our Chorus of Might. So now it's kind of like the question is, do I want to Chorus of Might now, or do I want to Chorus of Might coming up? I'm not really sure. Let's see. Well, let's look at the math here. If we do this, this becomes a 5/5 with Trample, and he can only block one thing. So we get him for 5, 10, 15. He's left at 1, and he loses his Lobber Crew. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, that's pretty much the way to go. All in on Wild Beastmaster. Yeehaw. If he has an Electrickery, that is terrible. That would be really timely. Doesn't look like it. So away we go. That is a lot of beef coming at him. In fact, I think he's just dead. Yep, that's the end. Hilarious. Well, yeah. Wild Beastmaster, white-green deck. Maybe that's what I should have trusted my instincts. Well, that's pretty much the way to go. I imagine he'll be siding in things for the Wild Beastmaster right now, but it worked out. It worked out pretty good. I'm actually kind of thinking if I want to put an additional swamp in there and play with like a weird 31 card deck but with 14 lands. I don't think I do. Or do I want to put in like a Rogue's Passage? That'd be kind of neat. Because he does have that Lobber Crew. But I might actually do that. I might take this out and put in a Rogue's Passage just in case. Let's go ahead and submit that. See where that gets us. So yeah, totally different deck. How is that? Let's see here. We got a Rogue's Passage and a Precinct Captain. Haha, that's like a laugh in my face. Let's see here. We're gonna be on the draw, so I don't think we're gonna mulligan it. Any pull puts us in a good place. Hopefully he doesn't start off super fast. He doesn't seem to be super fast. I mean, he has Dead Revelers and things of that nature, but other than that. Well, let's see here. We'll go ahead and put this Plains out because you never know. I might draw a Plains. Really, I'd like to draw just about anything. We do have our Chorus of Might in our hand. We do have some removal in our hand. We have Pump. We have this Griffin. This isn't a hand I really would like to mulligan. Let's see. He's coming out with something. All right, so he's got the Shred Freak on tap right away. That's not that good for me. Getting the Precinct Captain out is basically like a necessity. If I could get a white mana here, I would love my deck for days. No. All right, well, nothing we can do about that. That Shred Freak is going to get in for 4 at least. And I'm going to hope that I can see some kind of land here. I mean, I don't think that keeping this hand was a bad play. We have plenty of stuff in the low drop area. We just need to see it. Land. Alright, that's a land. I'm not really sure if that's the land I wanted to see, but it is a land. Avenging Arrowing that thing wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. I think we just put out the Security Blockade. And if I was going to Security Blockade something, I guess I Security Blockade the Rogue's Passage, just because the only time I'm ever going to use that is when I need to start making things unblockable. Yeah. I think we just do that right now just to kind of like reduce the flow of blood that's coming flying out of us right now from these early creatures coming down on the board over and over and over again. Trading a knight for a Shred Freak isn't the most optimal thing I would want to do, but I don't really have a problem with it. I also have this Selesnya Charm, so it's possible I could just take 4 here and then just utilize the Selesnya Charm. But I think the Selesnya Charm is better on the Wild Beastmaster. I know he's going to rush in here. Let's see. Do I want to lose this knight right now? Or more importantly, can we stand to take 4 more and go down to 12? I have some centaur healers. Those would be pretty timely. I think I am going to go ahead and take this damage. It's kind of a gamble, but we're in a place right now where we have to really think about what we're going to do. All right, let's see. That's a forest. So we're getting somewhere. My knight does have vigilance, so I can get in here. We are gravely losing the race, of course. Looks like he has an auger spree for it, or maybe... Yeah, an auger spree. Well, shucks. Alright. What can you do? Let's see. We can throw down the Wild Beastmaster. We haven't seen an Annihilating Fire yet. Or we can just Avenging Arrow something. But I kind of would like to leave the Avenging Arrow for something more important. But let's see. If we bring out the Wild Beastmaster, he swings in with everything. And we go down to... I use the Security Blockade. We go down to... 9? Man, that's rough. Or I can Selesnya Charm. Or I can Avenging Arrow. Selesnya Charm takes out a Bloodfray Giant. And the Avenging Arrow just happens after the fact. Alright. Well, we'll hold for right now. I think we might just have to activate our security blockade here. And we might just have to Avenging Arrow. Don't really want to Avenging Arrow the Sewer Shambler, because then he'll be able to stack it on top of something. It's going to take quite a bit, though, for us to get back in the game here. Let's see. We can play out the Precinct Captain, and we can play out the Wild Beastmaster. That's pretty good. Or we can play out a Sunspire Griffin. That's pretty good, too. More efficient use of mana would probably be the Precinct Captain and the Wild Beastmaster, though. He seems to be stuck on 3 lands, and I think right now we need to start getting out there and making him want to stay back. And this thing does have first strike, so if he does come in with the Sewer Shambler, barring some sort of trick, we can actually take care of it. The worst thing to see is him drop another mountain and throw down an Annihilating Fire. If he does throw down the Bloodfray Giant, I do have the Selesnya Charm waiting for him. I can't use it this turn, but when I can use it, it will be waiting for him. And I need to start playing a little bit faster because we are getting down to the 10-minute mark. Not that that makes me horribly rushed, but it's not... I would like to remain somewhat close to my opponent in time. Taking a good long look here at the Precinct Captain. With any luck, he'll forget that it has first strike. Having the Sewer Shambler out and scavenging onto something is not the worst thing that I could see, because that gives my Selesnya Charm a pretty good chance at actually dealing with it, especially if he throws down a Dead Reveler and then scavenges his Sewer Shambler on top of it. I mean, right now he's looking at the life totals, and it's 20-9. So he's got me in a really compromising place. And I imagine he'll just want to play the biggest, baddest thing he has. The only the benefit that we have right now is that he's stuck on lands. If he wasn't stuck on lands, I have no doubt that he probably would have run over us by now. His deck is just very good. With things like Augur Spree, Annihilating Fire, that Bloodfray Giant, he's got a Dead Reveler and some other things. And you know, we have some of those cards. I mean, we have in our other deck, we have the Annihilating Fire, and we have a Dead Reveler. And you know, we have a Grim Roustabout and things like that, but that Bloodfray Giant just owned us. I mean, it was just horrible. Because the removal that we have is damage-based removal. So it's removal that does, you know, 2 to 3 points of damage to a creature. And when you have something as beefy as the Bloodfray Giant, there's just no way to take care of it unless I had opened an Explosive Impact. I mean, well, there's a lot of things I could have opened, but I didn't get that kind of removal. I didn't get Destroy removal, I just got damage removal, which is fine. I could put the Annihilating Fire to an opponent's face, but let me just make sure I didn't time out here because we've been waiting a while. I don't think so. Everything looks to be going all right. Just waiting on my opponent. Maybe she's using the restroom. I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, and I will be back when my opponent shows up. All right, we're back. My opponent did show up there. We'll go ahead and play out this Wild Beastmaster as well. And we are good to go. See if he actually managed to get his land drop here. He did. So he does have Annihilating Fire mana up. But he's not going to use it, I imagine because he wants to use a Bloodfray Giant. Let me see a Bloodfray Giant. Can't think of anything else that he showed us. No, there's a Perilous Shadow. Yep, there's a Bloodfray Giant. So if I have any luck at all, he will... Okay, thank God. He unleashed it. If he didn't unleash it, I would feel really, really, really sad. Because then my Selesnya Charm would not be able to deal with it. So there's Deviant Glee. We have yet to actually see a swamp, which makes me sad. Let's go ahead and get rid of this thing right now. And I think we'll just, let's see here. I can't yet utilize my my Wild Beastmaster, sadly, but I think we... Do we go in here against the Shambler? Yeah, I think we do. I'm pretty sure he'll block with it. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured, because he's going to want to scavenge it. Which is fine. Sadly, just the mana types we have right now is not allowing me to cast things like the Griffin and play a Selesnya Charm in the same round. Let's see here. Perilous Shadow? Alright. Perilous Shadow is pretty bad. That's a Plains. Let's see here. I can Rogue's Passage my Precinct Captain, get up and get a little 1/1 Knight token, and I think that might actually be the plan. So I can start getting in for damage and chumping with the Precinct Captain. This is kind of a weird way to play it, but why not? Other things I could have done was do it with the Wild Beastmaster, but as of right now I don't have the damage yet to get past the Perilous Shadow with just the Beastmaster. If I can get a swamp, things will get real crazy, real fast. But we'll see what he has here. Dead Reveler is pretty good, actually. And he has a Drainpipe Vermin. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. We rip his Selesnya Guildgate. If I put down the Sunspire Griffin, let's see here. Put down the Sunspire Griffin and we start getting close to Chorus of Mighting with the Wild Beastmaster. Or I can just go in again with this Precinct Captain and create another token. What should I do here? Let's see. I can stop one of the damage if I put down this Griffin. And then Horse of Might gets a little bit better on the Wild Beastmaster. I think that's what we're going to do for right now. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it that way. Unfortunately, my poor soldier token will probably just have to die for the greater good. See what he has for us here. If he doesn't take care of this Wild Beastmaster with an Annihilating Fire, we might be able to do some really good work here. I don't think he's going to want to swing in with everything, but he's a really aggressive deck, and he does have us on the ropes. Okay, so he wants to kill something and then have me discard a card. Target player discards a card. Would I discard Deviant Glee, or do I hope I get a swamp off the top? I think we'll just kind of take our 1 damage for right now. See what other kind of plays he has for us. Spawnrix Made? Yeah. That's pretty good. And we have our forest now as well. So things that we can do here. Things that we can do here are, let's see. We can get in with a Precinct Captain. 1, 2, 3, 4. That does not leave us Chorus of Might damage up. We can chump a few things. But he would be slowly whittling us away. I still think that's what we have to do. I think right now our biggest potential for victory, sadly, is basically trying to build up our board and then going with the Chorus of Might idea. Right now he can block 1, 2 things. But what we have to watch is that we don't end up just killing ourselves here. Also, an Annihilating Fire will take care of this Wild Beastmaster, and then our plan A is kind of down the toilet. Each draw that he makes gives him another potential draw to get the Annihilating Fire needed. And realistically, I just don't have the mana right now to save her. And I mean, if he swings in, I have to do some real math. That's a Rakdos Key Rune. Alright, so what will he come in with? Just the Drain Pipe Vermin, perhaps? Spawnrix Made and the Drain Pipe Vermin. So, let's see. I think here we're just going to go ahead and chump. Still has Annihilating Fire mana up. We have a Centaur Healer. That's pretty cool. It gains us a little bit more life. Alright, so what happens here if we go in? If we go all in, let's see, this becomes, everything gets +5/+5. So he has to kill everything, but then he kills us on the crackback. And if we use Rogue's Passage here, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. We have enough to do that and play a Centaur Healer. That's pretty good. This is like the lowest or the slowest whittling away I've ever done. So that's kind of cool. All right, we'll go ahead and play this Centaur Healer. That'll put us back up to 10, which is kind of nice. Oh man, this game is just nerve-wracking. I imagine he'll go in with the Vermin and the Spawn of Rixmade again. I can actually double block with a Centaur Healer and a Soldier, but then if he ends up having a trick, I get blown out. Well, it's not really blown out, but it's not good. It's a long game. All right. Do I want to just get the Spawn off the table? He's got 3 cards in hand and a whole lot of mana. If he Annihilating Fires something, I would actually rather him Annihilating Fire something like a healer. Oh, man. All right. Let's go ahead and do that. See what happens. If he has the Annihilating Fire, this should draw it out. Alright, so we did get rid of that Spawn Rixmade, which is good. That thing was like just getting way too big for its britches. Lost our Centaur Healer in the meantime, and he's tapping out for a Street Sweeper. Forest. Alright, so let's see here. Chorus of Might. Again on our Wild Beastmaster. We can actually Chorus of Might now and force something else through. Okay, if we Chorus of Might, everything gets +5/+5. This is a 7/3 6. This has first strike. He can't activate the Key Rune. What does he do? How does he get out of it? What does his crackback look like? He has to block or he dies. Or do we wait one more turn? He's tapped out. I'll have one blocker back left over. If he lets 2 things in, let's see, if he lets 2 things in, does he die? No, he doesn't. Let me think. I want my Wild Beastmaster to be alive. Okay. Let's do it. We've got to do it when he's tapped out. In retrospect, seeing what he played in the end air, I actually should not have double blocked. I actually could have killed him this turn if I did not double block, because I would still have a Centaur on the ground. What can you do, though? Alright. So we go in with everything. Everything gets disgustingly huge. How does he block? He takes 12 damage no matter what he does. There's no way around it. I think this just wraths his board. No, he'll still have a creature left. He can still have his street sweeper left. I totally understand him taking his time with the blocks here, but I think the obvious blocks are Dead Reveler on, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but Dead Reveler on this Precinct Captain, and either the Street Sweeper or a Perilous Shade on this Soldier token. And he keeps a Street Sweeper, or he keeps a Perilous Shadow. Okay, Dead Reveler there, Perilous Shadow there. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So he's down to 2. I actually hope we don't lose this game because of that double block that I did. I should have done my math in advance. I totally failed in that respect. And he's got 8 damage on the board. So if he can actually Annihilating Fire me to the face and win. But if he doesn't have the Annihilating Fire or a Shred Freak, he could also have, let's see, he already played 1 Shred Freak. Basically, if he has anything to increase his damage, I'm dead. So maybe it would have been better to... Oh, wow. I guess he did not have anything. Oh, my God. All right, well, there's the end of that game. That was... I'm not going to go ahead and say that that skill was any part of that. That was total luck. I got lucky, and there's no good way around it. Anyway, we'll see you in round 2, and I will hope that our first deck fares a little bit better, so I don't have to do like a clutch win in rounds 2 and 3.